All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Hopefully, you guys had an awesome day today. Kind of a weird day out there again. I want to break it down for you. All of the trades that I took, all of the trades I didn't take, and I want to walk you through exactly why. Kind of a weird market the last 2 days, and I really want to just go through everything we've got here because really the last 2 days have been a bit choppy. And the culprit of that is just the fact that we really haven't had a main runner. You really haven't had an obvious runner. And just like yesterday, you had BOXL moving. And that was the only thing with any volume yesterday, and it was trading horribly. Really hard to get any good reads on. Same thing happened here today with NUAI and a couple of these others. So we'll start in order here, and we'll go ahead and start with what we had at a market open on IPDN, which it traded. It wasn't super clean, but it was a decent opportunity, all things considered. And so you came out of the bell. This thing makes a big move to the upside, breaks up over the moving averages. As you can see here, big move to the upside, follows through higher over the pre-market level, pulls back, and I take the first entry here off the pullback for the hold off this low for the breakup higher. It ends up making that move, and as you can see, I get positioned a little bit better here where initially I take the pullback, I get some profit taken, and then of course I exit full as it rejects back beneath this previous high. Now on trade 2, we see it continue to put in place this higher low off the 90 MA, and so I took a re-entry for the breakback higher, and I got to move back up into the high of day and got an easy little trade here, as you can see, from about 458 to 470. Now I noticed things were a little bit slow, and so I came back and I played it again. I gave back a little bit of profit. Kicking myself over that, it is what it is. Would I do it again? No, I would not. So this thing broke up to the highs, 1 minute breakout of the flat top high here. And again, it tries to break to the highs here, instantly rejects, again, puts in place this reversal candle. And from there, I should have known this thing was a no-go. This thing was done. Well, it pulls back underneath the 90 MA. I take a pullback entry looking for it to hold off this low because I'm looking for this to hold to see if I couldn't get a little move back up into this high. But again, the big picture move here is already done. So again, gave a little bit back there and just really couldn't get anything going. And so I had this one win, had this tiny little play, and then had this little loss. And then I want to show you something. Going back from yesterday on Voxel. By the way, swings are cooking on MP today, doing amazing there. But look at this Voxel move from yesterday. So this was the obvious runner yesterday. So you see you get this big move at market open on Voxel yesterday. It breaks to the highs, hesitates nice back through those lows, and then it reverses, reclaims these previous highs, and breaks back above and pivots. Now, yesterday on Voxel, put in place this area of form supply. Price pivots above, becomes an area of demand. And then, of course, heads higher for a massive move. And so today on SLE, you got almost the exact same move. And so I tried to play it, expecting to get a similar move, and we can see what happened here. It actually ended up making that similar move a little bit later on in the morning. But check this out. So it makes a big move at market open. Same thing, hesitates, knives back to lows, and then reclaims this previous high. And so just like Voxel yesterday, I look for this pivot to hold, this move back higher, and take a loss there. I take a loss there. So then again, I'll have my profit on IPDN. Then I came here in SLE and gave it back. And so I'm back in that situation of yesterday where there's no big obvious runner that I can actually break the ice on and get the day going in a big way. That reigns true again today. So then we go on over to NUAI, and that one was also really weird. And the reason why, I'll show you here. I traded it pretty well. I did trade it pretty well, but the fact is, this thing said that it had like 20 million share float. And if you traded this thing today, the unit was so unbelievably choppy and thick. It traded like it had a 100, 200 million share float. Extremely rigid, back and forth, like tug of war happening all morning. And so, again, really hard to get anything going. And I have a lot of little base hit trades on this, where we try to pivot off this area of against supply form from from earlier after market open. You can see here this past low sort of holds here as it starts to pivot. I look for a little pullback entry and played it here from 87 to 89. And then the bigger picture entry you can see here, where it pulls off of trend. Check this out. Pulls off of trend. I take a re-entry off the low, and I get to move back up here into the highs for the attempted breakout. Of course, take profit up into this high here. Okay, so like cool. All right, so then it tries to break out higher. We break above, price pulls back, and again, with how weird price action was, I cut it early here for a break-even trade rather than giving it time, and because of that, I ended up taking a break-even trade here on trade 3 after taking 2 wins here initially, and so I missed this move here. I missed the big move here from, over $1. But again, because price action was just so weird. It was really trading super, super off. And so I was worried the whole time this thing was just going to get knifing back underneath trend, and I was going to get back this profit on a slow day. And so this thing gets going, and I'm watching it for opportunities because it starts to find some volume here. You can see down here at the bottom, all through here, volume's a little bit light, but after this move to the upside, it really gets some volume going here. So it pulls back off the highs, off the 90 MA, off the previous high of day, and again, took an entry here, based it up into the highs, couple little wins, pulls back again off of that opening high. Check this out. So it pulls back again off the opening high. I take it tight, risking off the low for the break back up to these previous highs. And again, I capture a nice move here from 97 all the way back to $1.05. And so I'm starting to get something working here finally. It's so late in the morning now. It's 10:30, you know. The only real obvious runner today is the only thing with any clean volume, anything with any consistent strength. But it just wasn't trading clean. Price action was extremely choppy, which again limits my conviction. And so I can't actually take it with any actual size. And then you look over here at the other on Sava. This is the last one I tried to play today. That haven't quite gone over yet, but again, it tries to break out. Look at this. It tries to break out and take it off the 90 MA for the break up higher. And I was looking for it back up into the top of its range here. Another little small win. I took it tight here off the pullback at 279, and I'm out at 281. It's like, okay, I'm not getting anything working here. So a really, really odd morning. And so it's just one of those things where this week's been kind of odd. You know, you had that main runner to focus in on like we had last week. You know, like a Friday, we had AGMH. Or the past few days, we at least had something to focus on, and just haven't had that the last 2 days. And so it's just one of those days where sometimes the best trade is no trade. But that pretty much sums up the day today. Let me know in the comments below how you did today. Hopefully you did much better than I did, but there just really wasn't anything to be watching today. So that being said, if you did learn something from this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button for daily content just like this. And make sure to claim your 7-day free trial to watch me trade stocks just like this in real time every single day and get my day trading alerts, swing trading alerts, watch list, education, chat room access, and so much more. And that being said, I will see you in the next one.